We've come to the point of the meeting where we're going to do closing argument, closing statements. And in the spirit of this evening. And I'd like Ms. Piper to start.
I was elected to the council 2 years ago, and in the past 2 years, I have spent my time taking care of the businesses in Chestertown, networking, going to school, to find out what we can do to improve the economics of Chestertown, Maryland. Chestertown, Maryland is not unique in the economic situation that our whole country is in. All of the towns and municipalities that I have roundtabled with, had discussions with, from experts, everybody is including the whole town in workshops. The businesses, the residences, any event, any, like when we get ready to present the college waterfront task force results, it should be a combination of efforts of the town and the government. And it has been. We have interviewed over 100 and some people. These are from all walks of life in Chestertown, businesses, the 30-somethings, the 40-somethings, the farmers, everybody. And another thing that I thought was very interesting from some of the roundtable discussions, any big project like a park, the map of the project is put in public places like the town hall or the visitor center or a gathering place downtown. And people put sticky notes, positive responses on the maps. And then everybody sits down in the task force and goes over them. I know Easton put in a new park from donations only, and it was a community effort. And the community came up with ideas that the government, the town council, the mayor and council didn't even think of, and it made it a better park. And I just believe in bringing everybody together. I have done that. I have connected. I visit my businesses. I visit the farmers market. I have appointed myself a liaison between the farmers market and the town because I was tired of being in a ping pong match, going back and forth. He said yes, he said no, back and forth. And this is what I've learned to do. This is what I do. I feel like I'm a part of an underground network in town, and I'm kind of feel like I'm on that side of the government, not the inside of the government, because I've been able to connect and network with all of our businesses and residents, and I have never, ever not responded to a resident's concern, either directly or indirectly, and I have never, ever not followed up on any of your concerns. And I'd appreciate your vote. I'd love to be your mayor for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Serino.
Well, it's getting down to crunch time, and everybody in this room needs to ask themselves, who do you want your next mayor to be? It's a question that I asked myself up until recently when I declared to run for this office. You know, if I were on your side of the table, what were some of the qualities that I would want to see in a good mayor? One, I would want that person to be well educated. I would want them to be articulate and able to convey complex problems into language that was easy for everybody to understand. I would want somebody with a wide variety of public speaking experiences in front of a lot of different audiences of varying ages. I would want somebody that was able to have a community-wide perspective who understood the challenges of every neighborhood and every commercial center and every institution and understood innately how all those were interconnected with one another. Importantly, I would want somebody with a lot of marketing experience in the 21st century, somebody that had a proven track record of selling things, because you ultimately as mayor are the #1 salesman, the #1 marketer, and the #1 promoter for this town. I would want somebody with extensive grant writing experience who had a track record of identifying, obtaining, managing, and implementing grants, because the vast majority of the municipal improvements that have been made in this town in the last 20 years have all been grant driven. I would want somebody with planning experience. I would want somebody that had extensive knowledge of our educational system, who had worked with thousands of students, parents, teachers, principals, and administrators, because our educational system is what drives the entire economy. I would want somebody who had the ability to take not just the short view of issues, but had a long view of what was best for Chestertown and how we could position ourselves for economic vitality and success, not just for the next year, but for the next several decades. And I would want somebody that uniquely knew the town's many strengths that I think we tend to forget. We are a mecca for heritage tourism. We are a mecca for hunting, fishing, boating, biking, bird watching, and getting people out on the water. We have an incredible, dynamic arts community. We have a dynamic institution in Washington College that is a vastly undertapped economic resource when it comes to getting their students to patronize our businesses. And we need somebody that understands how all of these elements are interconnected and work together, someone with visionary leadership. And based on the current average age of the mayor and council, I would suggest that a little bit of youth vitality and new energy would also be a nice thing. And when I go down that list, I have to say, I hate to toot my own horn, but I do think in many ways I'm uniquely qualified to step into this position. And I hope you agree with me on November 5th at the polls.
Thank
See
you
then.
thank you very much. Mr. Haynen.
If I had to kind of describe myself, I kind of describe myself as a small town guy with a big city heart. I've been here my entire life. I've gone through the same struggles everybody else has with money and not having business around here. I have a long-term investment in the town. I live here. I'm raising a family here. I want my son to live here. So I'm not just looking for things for the next 4 or 5 years, but for long term. I don't make promises that I can't keep. I'm just a regular guy like everyone else in here. And one person can't change everything. It's going to take everybody in the room. And I want to be that person to bring everyone together and take everyone's thoughts and make Chestertown a better place for everyone.
Thank you.
I need to make a difference in Chestertown. There are several issues that have been brought to my attention, and they are issues that I too am concerned about. Malcolm X once said, "If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything." I want to stand for past experiences as well as future changes in Chestertown. My goal is to improve the quality of life for all citizens through economic development, job opportunities, affordable housing, safety, education, recreation, diversity, and community involvement. As I look through the town comprehensive plan, I noticed that the town does not plan to utilize space that is available to accommodate economic growth. I believe it states that economic growth is encouraged but is streamlined. I'm not sure that I understand what this means. Does it mean that we have to only support small businesses in Chestertown when we have land and available space that will accommodate larger businesses? If this is the case, then I can see why so many people from our area shop in other areas such as Delaware and Easton. There are some major concerns that I have in 2 of the wards. Out in my ward in Washington Park, there's a 4-way stop sign that is often overlooked. The speed of most vehicles is fast, which creates a dangerous situation. Children are not safe playing or riding their bikes in their own neighborhood. There are no sidewalks or curbs in Washington Park or Foxley Manor. There's very little lighting in these neighborhoods. It is very dangerous for pedestrians to walk, ride bikes, and to even think about going into Chestertown by foot or by bike. We need to look at speed cameras or speed bumps, adding sidewalks, sufficient lighting, and continuing to promote the rails of trails. All of these will be beneficial to solving some of the problems that we're facing today. I am also very concerned that our children in Washington Park and Coventry cannot attend their own school. They are currently attending Wharton. I will work with the school system to redistrict so our children can return to Henry Highland Garnett. This will allow parents to be closer to their children, participate in activities such as volunteering, special events, and attending school meetings. And my time is drawing near, but I also have other plans to involve parents. But I cannot do any of these things alone, but I will be able to do them with your support.
Again, I would ask a question. Do I want to see things going in the same direction as they currently are, taking the plans we had and moving them forward? Or do I want to see that some of the things that there are some changes? And I have the sense in talking to others that there is not an open feeling about approaching the town, that there is not the feeling that people are listened to when they do approach the town, unless they are connected somehow. And I would like to see that changed. I don't make promises on a lot of things, because I'm not going to make them if I can't keep them. But one thing I will promise is that I will have an email address that people can get through to me. I will be available in the town office by appointment. I want to have regularly scheduled times where for a couple hours people can just stop in, have a cup of coffee, and tell me what they're thinking. But I want that kind of openness. I want the clarity in the procedures and in the rules, so that people can put up a sign and not have to take it down because it's a quarter of an inch too long, or something of that sort. I think that we need to look at the town as a whole. We do not necessarily, we've got the two sections, the historic and the rest. They need to be pulled together. And that's going to take many of the kinds of things like sidewalks and lighting, but it's also going to take planning. And I don't see the kind of thing that says we have regularly scheduled events that we know that Queen Street will finally get rid of its potholes in the year 2016. Okay, we don't have that kind of a schedule here. We don't have it as a line item budget, in the budget, and so we don't plan for those things. You have an earthquake that messes up the ceramic pipes for sewage, and we wait until we have collapses in the road before we address it. Those kinds of everything done ad hoc drives me nuts. So those are the kinds of things that I want to see. And I think that we need to say, are we going to go straight forward the way we are, or are we going to make some changes?